Voyager 1 is more than just a machine. Launched in 1977, it was built for a grand tour of the outer planets, Jupiter and Saturn. It gave us our first close-up views of their storms, rings, and mysterious moons. But Voyager 1 didn't stop there. It kept going, becoming humanity's first emissary to interstellar space. This small probe, powered by the slow decay of plutonium, has survived the cold and radiation of deep space for nearly half a century. It's a relic of analog technology, outlasting generations of computers back on Earth. Voyager 1 is a ghost ship, silently crossing the cosmic ocean, a witness to the universe's vastness. For decades, it sent back precious data about the heliosphere, the edge of our solar system, and finally, interstellar space. Each transmission was a postcard from the edge of everything we know. The deep space network strained to catch its faint signals, the delay stretching to nearly a day each way. The spacecraft aged, its systems failing, but we cherished every last whisper. We expected a slow fade into silence, but the end was not what we imagined. The final transmission wasn't a simple goodbye, it was something else, something that would change everything. Voyager 1's journey reminds us how small we are and how big our dreams can be. It is a piece of us, out there in the great unknown. We listened, holding on to every last bit of data. The end came suddenly, not as a fade, but as a mystery. The last message was not silence, it was a puzzle, and it left us with more questions than answers. Voyager 1's story was not over. It had one last secret to share. At NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, the final message from Voyager 1 arrived. The team expected a farewell, but the data was strange, clear but nonsensical. The transmission was valid, but the content was gibberish. Engineers checked everything. Their systems were fine, the problem was with the spacecraft. The data packet was the right size, the handshake correct, but inside chaos. It was like hearing a familiar voice speak in an unknown language. Disappointment set in. Was this just a final breakdown? Then a young analyst noticed a pattern in the noise. She filtered the data, stripping away the static. What emerged was astonishing. A sequence of prime numbers embedded in the signal. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, mathematics, the universal language. Voyager's computers weren't programmed for this. The room fell silent. A system failure doesn't create prime numbers by accident. Was this a glitch, a hidden subroutine, or something more? Had Voyager encountered something out there? The last thing we ever heard from Voyager 1 was a mathematical signature. It was not a goodbye, but a question. The implications were staggering. Was it a final gasp of programming or a message from the unknown? The world would soon be captivated by this cosmic riddle. Voyager's last whisper was its most profound. It was a mystery that demanded to be solved. The team stared at the screen, knowing history had just changed. The transmission ended, but the story was just beginning. Voyager 1 had left us with a puzzle, and the world was listening. The simplest explanation was a system failure, a cascade of memory errors after decades in space. Maybe by chance this chaos produced a pattern that looked like prime numbers, a poetic, accidental end for our faithful probe, but the pattern was too perfect, too deliberate. Some theorized a hidden subroutine, a secret farewell coded by Voyager's creators. Investigators searched old documents, interviewed engineers. No one recalled such a program. The mystery deepened. Then came the most thrilling theory. What if Voyager was just a relay? What if something found our probe and used it to say hello in the language of mathematics? A simple greeting, written in prime numbers. Was this first contact? There's no way to know. The signal is gone, Voyager silent. But the question lingers. Did our probe fulfill its ultimate purpose? Was it a glitch, a human message, or a cosmic reply? Each possibility is profound. Each forces us to reconsider our place in the universe. Voyager's final message is not an answer, it's a question for all of humanity. The probe's silence is now part of the mystery. We may never know the truth, but the question remains, echoing across the stars. Voyager's last act was to make us wonder, and that may be its greatest legacy. To grasp Voyager's final message, remember what it carries: the golden record, a gold-plated copper disc, a time capsule for the cosmos. Carl Sagan and his team tried to capture all of humanity on a single record. It holds 115 images. Our planet, our people, our DNA, our celebrations. It's a family album of Earth. The record contains the sounds of wind, rain, ocean waves, birds, and whales, a symphony of our world. There's music from Bach, Beethoven, Chuck Berry, and folk songs from around the globe. It's humanity's mixtape for the stars. Greetings in 55 languages, from ancient Akkadian to modern Mandarin, all say hello from the children of planet Earth. The golden record was always a gesture of hope. The odds of it being found are tiny, but its true audience was us. Creating it forced us to see ourselves as one species on a fragile world. It's a statement of hope, a belief that our lives have meaning beyond our brief existence. To send a piece of ourselves into the darkness just in case someone is listening, is a deeply human act. The record is a message of friendship, an open hand to the unknown. It's a reminder that we are united by curiosity and hope. The golden record is Voyager's heart, beating across the void. It's a symbol of our optimism. And now, with Voyager's final message, it takes on new meaning. The record is our introduction to the cosmos, and perhaps one day it will be our reply. Until then, it drifts on, a song for the stars. News of Voyager's final message spread across the globe. For a moment, the world forgot its divisions. People gathered, looking up at the sky, captivated by a tiny probe billions of miles away. The image of prime numbers was projected onto buildings from Tokyo to Times Square. Scientists pointed telescopes hoping for another signal. The public was swept up in awe and curiosity. School children drew pictures, talk shows buzzed with theories, and social media overflowed with wonder. For a brief time, we were all just Earthlings, united by a cosmic mystery. The message had done something miraculous. It brought us together. It reminded us of our shared identity as inhabitants of a small blue planet. Voyager's puzzle was a gift. It gave us perspective and a sense of belonging to something greater. The world was united in wonder, if only for a moment. Voyager's mystery didn't just inspire scientists. It ignited artists. Musicians composed symphonies from the prime number sequence, turning math into melody. Writers and filmmakers imagined first contact, or the human drama behind the message. Visual artists painted Voyager's lonely journey, sculpted the prime numbers, and built immersive experiences. Art became our reply to the cosmos, translating data into emotion. The artist's echo showed how deeply Voyager's story touched our collective soul. Voyager's story is a mirror for humanity. It's about curiosity, our need to know what's out there. We built Voyager not for profit or power, but to explore. Its journey shows our ingenuity and persistence, a project spanning generations. The final message forces us to accept the unknown, to embrace humility. Some mysteries may never be solved, and that's not failure, it's an invitation to keep wondering. The golden record was an act of hope, a bet on the future. Whether the last message was a glitch or a greeting, it sparked a global conversation. Voyager reminds us, for all our differences, we are one people, looking up at the same stars. Its legacy is hope, curiosity, and unity. So where does this leave us? We stand on a small world facing a silent cosmos. Was Voyager's last message a random glitch, a hidden human code, or a reply from the stars? Each possibility is profound. A metaphor, a connection, or a revolution? We may never know the truth. Voyager is gone, drifting through the Milky Way, but it left us a gift, a mystery to inspire generations. It renewed our sense of wonder, forcing us to ask the big questions again. What is our place in the cosmos? Are we alone? Voyager's final message was not an end. It was a new beginning. The question remains, echoing in the void. And so do we.